Welcome back to my studio. Today we're doing our first product shoot and we're shooting a toothbrush. Now the whole aim of these videos is to try and bring you through the process of me creating my portfolio. There'll be a short format here on YouTube and then a longer extended version over my Patreon account. Now this first shot is more of a proof of concept. It's not something we're taking too seriously. We don't have a crew in here, there's no team, it's just myself and an assistant, and we're photographing a toothbrush. We're going to try and shoot it in a style which is reminiscent of my food works. The whole point is to still have my niche, but my niche be my style rather than the subject I photograph. So in terms of the kit we use for this shot here, it's a Canon 5D SR. We're using that through a bellow system which is called a Cambo Actus, and then we've got a 90mm lens, and this bit right on the end, that's a bellow system. So in order to get this image completely in focus, we've had to use the sort of movements within this camera so we can change the plane of focus relative to the sensor. My camera itself is connected to a Manfrotto salon stand, and that's this big sort of tripod if you like, but it's actually a studio stand. And we've got the iPad down there which runs the capture pilot, and then you'll notice on the far left hand side there is a battery attached to the edge of the salon stand, and this lets me use a big video battery to power my Canon, so I can use one battery for a whole day shooting. And the key light is a Pixapro AD1200, which we're shooting directly from above. We're just using a standard reflector and a bit of cinefoil just to stop the spill. And then the background light is just a Broncolor Pulso F2, I think it's called. And that's got a large reflector on it, which is also gridded, just so it doesn't spill too much onto the subject. It then hits a diffusion panel, and that just evens out the light onto the background. The black flag in front of it, that's just there to stop any spill going onto our toothbrush. Although the lights and camera are obviously very important, one of the main sculpting tools within this particular shoot are all the flags, mirrors, scrims, nets, and all the little bits and pieces we've used just to try and sculpt the light around the subject to give it as heroic an angle as possible. Now the entire set itself took up quite a lot of space when you consider how small the actual item was for a toothbrush, and we didn't even photograph the whole toothbrush. The background is just a plank of wood painted red, and it's just stuck onto a grey stud wall we have up. But yeah, this is the setup in its entirety. Took us about 45 minutes to do the whole shoot. And it was reasonably straightforward. You could definitely recreate this at home with less kit to a very, very similar extent. But because we have the space, we tend to spread out into it. So now that we've got the shot, the final thing that I need to do is get this into post. So I'm going to send this as a CR2 file to my retoucher. I'm going to let him explain what he's going to do to the image. We're going to bring it back. I'm going to color grade it, do my final nitty gritty tidy ups, and show you what the final outcome looks like. So this is the point where Rob gets my file. We give him a quick brief. I told him I wanted plastic fantastic, clean it up, make it look nice. This here is sort of the finished product. So what have we learned? And this is the important bit. What have we learned? Firstly, this will work. I think I can do this. This does not work, and the reasons are important, and it's important to go through these processes. This is why test shooting is important. I thought this sort of product might look cool. It doesn't.
it's just a toothbrush. I mean, we sort of knew that up front. This was really a test of concept, but we need action, we need movement, and we need something going on. And I think even just having toothpaste on a toothbrush wouldn't be enough. We'd have to have the toothpaste being applied as the photograph. So I think the important thing going forward, and this will be the next video, is finding a way to shoot a product with some action. And we have a very exciting still life stylist from London who's going to come down and work with us on one of these shoots. So we'll definitely be filming that and popping that up on the Patreon. So fear not. But in the meantime, in that little weird bit in Christmas, we're going to try and do something a bit more fun with the product and just see if we can bring some life to it. But I'm happy with this. I think it works well. It's an okay shot. We could do a tidying up some of these catch lights in here. Not the greatest, not the worst, but there we go. This is what we've got. I hope you liked it.